On this week's show, Liberty Hoops dives into conference play, and football season may be over, but we still have some news coming your way.
Plus, former Flame Greg Mosley starred on the gridiron, but today he's making a difference on the court. And we go out of the office and into the workshop. This is Flame Central.
While most of the country is experiencing a cold, dark winter, let us be a ray of sunshine, huh? Welcome into Flame Central, your home for all things Liberty Athletics. As always, she's Emily Austin. I'm Matt Warner.
The college football season is now officially in the rearview mirror, which means basketball gets center stage just as conference play begins.
Yeah, the Flames dropped a heartbreaker in their first Conference USA clash on the road at Western Kentucky. So coming home to face Jacksonville State felt like a game they needed desperately to win. The Flames, very familiar with the Gamecocks, as they too made the move from the ASUN Conference to CUSA this year. Now, Jack State won at Liberty 2 seasons ago, and they had their sights set on being the first road team to ever win 2 games in Liberty Arena, and it was all going to plan early. The Gamecocks using their size to their advantage to get good looks around the rim, and they were cashing in. Now, on Liberty's side, the offensive highlight in the first half was Kyle Rode. The fifth-year senior had 11 points in the half, including 3 three-pointers, and yet Liberty would find themselves down 26-21 at the break. Second half, the leading scorer in Conference USA, well, he finally started coming to life. That's Kiki Tandy for the Gamecocks. He scored 12 of his 14 points after halftime. Meanwhile, the Flames' shooting woes would continue. Liberty shot just 9 of 34 from three-point range. That's 26%. The offensive struggles would be their undoing as they fall by the final of 61-51. That drops the Flames to 0-2 in Conference USA play to begin the season, with a huge Sunday matchup looming with Louisiana Tech.
We'll take it back to the gridiron to highlight the Flames after another incredible season, finishing with a program record 13 wins. Following that success for the second time at the FBS level, Liberty has ranked inside the final top 25 AP poll, just making the cut at number 25. It comes with little surprise after the Flames took the Conference USA crown, was just one of 4 teams in the nation that entered bowl season undefeated and made their first ever appearance in a New Year's Six bowl game. This recognition puts the Flames in a great position going into next season's preseason rankings.
Yeah, let's say with football, when you have the kind of season Liberty did, individual recognition will surely follow. And that includes recognition for head coach Jamie Chadwell. In late December, Chadwell was recognized as the Paul Bear Bryant Award Group of 5 Head Coach of the Year. After leading Liberty to 13 wins this season, that was a no-brainer. But Chadwell was also one of 8 finalists for the overall Bear Bryant Coach of the Year award. A few names on that list: Nick Saban, remember him?
Oh, yeah.
Steve Sarkisian, Mike Norvell, and unfortunately for Flames fans, it was Norvell from Florida State that would win the award. A great accomplishment, nonetheless, for Chadwell to be in such great company, and certainly a well-deserved honor for Coach.
Regardless, happy to have Chadwell here on the mountain. But Matt, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Who moved the Hula Bowl from Hawaii to Orlando?
What?
I know. I'm not a fan. It is what it is. And it's still a great opportunity for Liberty captains Xavier Gadlin and Tyron Dupree, who accepted an invite to the 78th Hula Bowl All-Star Football Classic game. Both players received first-team All-CUSA honors. Dupree was named the Conference USA Defensive Player of the Year. The senior led the Flames with 123 total tackles this season. He also picked up 8 tackles in the Fiesta Bowl. The biggest vocal leader on the team, Gadlin, was a force on the offensive line and helped lead the Flames to the best rushing attack in the nation. Best of luck to both of those forever Flames. I'm not going to lie. I'm the type of person who wears her heart on her sleeve.
Is that right?
Yeah, and in this era of the transfer portal, it's bringing to light my attachment issues. I've been on an emotional roller coaster, Flames Nation, but thankfully, I'm not leading this locker room. Liberty football has grounded coaches like head strength and conditioning coach Chad Scott, who don't let their emotions get in the way of pouring into these young men. And in this week's Flame Central podcast, powered by Alcova Mortgage, Chad Scott joins the show. In this day and age with the transfer portal, it's so difficult to keep these guys in one spot for an extended amount of time. So how difficult is that for you?
I actually put a tweet out the other night about that when everybody's kind of talking about all the portal stuff. And, you know, one thing as a coach is when you go into being a coach, and it might sound cliche, but it is what it is. When you're a coach, you know, you're not pouring into a kid what they can do for you as an athlete in the moment. You're pouring into them for what you can do for them later in life and how that can carry them their whole life. Whether you're with them for 6 months or whether you're with them for 6 years or anything in between, if we can make a difference as coaches in their life, then we've done our job. And then along the way, develop them as football players, develop them as men, and hopefully together as a team. If we got a kid and we pour into them the right way and we do everything that we can do, and it's just one of those things where it ends up where we got him for 6 months, then hopefully that 6 months that we have a hold of him, you know, he's going to remember that the rest of his life.
We had a great conversation with Chad Scott about what Liberty football just accomplished and what the future of the program looks like. Be sure to check that out. Bottom line, if you like Liberty athletics and you like fun, then you're going to love the Flame Central podcast powered by Alcova Mortgage. A new podcast comes out every Monday. Catch it wherever you listen to podcasts or watch it on the Liberty Flames YouTube channel.
Training champions for Christ. That was Dr. Jerry Falwell's vision for this university and the athletic department 50 years ago. And it still rings true today. The amazing part about the impact of that vision, though, is that it's being carried all across the nation by former Flames, like running back Greg Mosley, who may not be coaching on the mountain, but he's still training champions for Christ.
I believe football by nature creates a bond of young men that, if it's recognized, lasts a lifetime.
First and 10 at the 23-yard line.
Liberty, changed my life. There's no question about it. And football was that catalyst. I was a young Christian at that time and growing, but I had enough spiritual maturity about me to realize this was a special place.
Former Liberty running back Greg Mosley would play 4 seasons at LU. But how he would get to Lynchburg, Virginia, and what he experienced.
Well, that's an interesting story. I'm a high school senior and had a great season, getting a lot of recruiting attention, but no offers.
Then one Friday after Christmas, Coach Lee Kaltenbach would visit Greg at his home in Jacksonville, Florida. And by Sunday, the two would make the drive up to Lynchburg for a visit.
Now, I think this was probably pre-NCAA rule violation type of things and stuff like that. So anyway, I drove up with him. I remember he wanted me to drive through South Carolina because back then, if you got a ticket in South Carolina, it wouldn't count against you in Virginia. But he had several tickets. If he got another one, his license would have been revoked.
Once on campus, Greg would hand his high school highlight reel to then head coach Tom Dowling. After viewing the tape, Dowling would immediately type up a full scholarship for Greg to sign.
I just wanted to play. You know, I knew nothing about Liberty, nothing. I knew nothing about a dress code. I knew nothing about a music standard. There was nothing about Liberty that was attractive in the way of facility, in the way of dormitories. The island was unique because there were mountains on both sides of it sitting, above us. In the summertime, it was 10 degrees hotter, and gnats and yellow jackets. And then in the wintertime, it was 10 degrees colder. It made for quite an environment to do 3-a-days, and yes, we did 3 legitimate practices a day. Our weight room was a barn. Some of the weights that we had were probably handmade. Maybe they were 45 pounds, they might have been 55 pounds, we don't know exactly.
Greg Mosley's in the backfield.
But Greg would not be fazed.
Verso hands it off, pretending a fake. Mosley is going to score. What a play. Greg Mosley from the line of scrimmage. I can't believe it. Flames fans going crazy.
And when Greg took the field for the last time, he would rush for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns.
I knew I was hanging the cleats up, and it was freeing. It was very satisfying, to go out that way, and sort of all the years that I played from 10 years old until 21, kind of just all got put into that game. And so now it's made some really special memories. I graduated and really was burnt out of sport. I didn't even watch a football game for about 2 years.
But Greg had always felt a calling to work with young athletes, and so a love for coaching was born.
I'd coached everything. I can remember the first time I coached soccer. They didn't have football, they had soccer. I never coached soccer. I didn't know the rules of soccer.
Greg learned the ins and outs of coaching new sports and building new programs. In fact, he would go on to lead multiple North Carolina basketball and volleyball teams to high school state championships.
We took a team that was 10-9. Next year we won 17, next year we won 25, next year we won state championship, and then a state championship, then a state championship.
And when the call came to move up to the college level, Greg would take over as head volleyball coach at North Greenville University, a struggling NCAA Division II program in desperate need of a winning season.
Do not let a ball go out and fall in front of you, because we started rolling sleeves up and getting after it. We weren't down here ready and waiting for a cover. First year we won 19, and since that time we're averaging about 19 a year. Last 3 we've won 20, including this year. Been in the finals 2 years, been beaten 5, semifinals beaten 5 over the last 3 years, and so we're close. Nice. And our goal now has been to get an NCAA bid and continue to move up and build this program. Take the ball that you're going this way with it, push it back to the 1. And let's just see if you can't do that. Start working on that, getting stronger with that ball. I demonstrate to them my passion. Go in and get deep, where you got to transition and you can get downhill, hitting the ball, okay? I want them to have the experiences that last a lifetime. I want the players that I coach to be able to experience what I experienced through athletics. If you're in good position as the block and you penetrate up, Paul said we're seed sowers and water boys. And we sow seed and we water. We sow seed and we water. God gets the glory for all that. We just look for the opportunities to be able to be used. Hallie Ruth, I need you back here. I want y'all to serve. The fulfillment as we age of knowing when you get up that you have ministry wherever you are, that you are able to draw upon the things of the past, the things that have influenced your life, the people that have influenced your life, and go out and be that kind of influence. Tomorrow we come back, got a full 2 hours. I believe that that's what Dr. Falwell was talking about when he said that he's training champions for Christ. Everybody up? Who wants to talk to Jesus?
I got it. Dear Lord, thank you for this day. Thank you for allowing us to come together, Lord, and play this sport, Lord. I pray for everyone that's injured or sick, Lord. I pray you just heal them up and comfort them and be with them, Lord. And I just thank you for all your many blessings. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
You know, one thing I've always said is if you can coach anything. And you see that with Greg Mosley. Play football, coach basketball, win state championships, coach volleyball, have a lot of success. It's all about pouring into your players and finding a way to help them reach their potential. And you see that he's got it. Whatever it is, he's got it.
Good coach, better person. Yeah. We caught up with him when he came on campus for the Conference USA Championship. He was a trailblazer for Liberty football. It was just so cool to watch his eyes of like, wow, this campus is amazing. And he was one of the big reasons why of getting the program where it is today.
One of the building blocks for sure. All right, from one Liberty football alum to another, you can officially close the book now on DeMario Douglas's rookie season in the NFL. And what a season it was. The wide receiver ended the year as the New England Patriots leader in receiving yards. 561 yards on 49 receptions. He also chipped in with 41 rush yards. All in all, a very successful first campaign for the former 6th-round draft pick, finding success in a difficult situation with the Patriots.
Let's get back to the hardwood. Lady Flames on the road at Jack State. Lady Gamecocks didn't waste any time jumping out to a 10-0 run. And this one, Lady Flames still looking for their first Conference USA victory. Finally, about 5 minutes into the game, LU gets on the board thanks to Emma Hess. Second quarter, Liberty trailing 28-12. But the good news, Matt, the bank is open. It's a 6-0 run for the Lady Flames. Is it enough? Bella Smuda trying to get it going for LU on the defensive end. She shuts this one down. No thank you. But it wouldn't be enough as the Lady Flames still, like I said, searching for their first CUSA victory, falling on the road to Jack State 78-63.
All right, turning to the pitch. Last week it was announced that the Liberty women's soccer program has earned the Team Pinnacle Award. It's an award handed out by the United Soccer Coaches, and it recognizes a program for both its high level of play and its educational success. This award was for the 2022-23 academic year, a year in which the Lady Flames went 14-3-4 and had 5 players named to the academic all-district team. Congrats to head coach Lang Wiedemeyer and his team on this honor. All right, we'll take a quick timeout, but when we return, we step out of the office and into the garage with one Liberty athlete.
Plus, Rhett McGibbon joins us to name his athletes of the week. It's Warm, Hot, and Fuego when Flame Central returns.
Welcome to Liberty University's online programs, where living out your calling with integrity is what you train to do. And getting ready for the future doesn't mean missing out on the now. Because a university is more than buildings and books. And an education should set you free, not fence you in. Welcome to Liberty's global campus, where distance learning was pioneered and evolved into one of the top-ranked schools in the nation. Where protecting your budget, your time, and your education isn't just a theory, it's our priority. Here, degrees in your field reflect industry demands and help you get ahead of the competition. Where college comes to you, but you can come to college too. Game day, homecoming, graduation day. Your school, your values, your experience, your choice. Welcome to Liberty University, where we train champions for Christ.
At Liberty University, we understand life can be unpredictable, and when you need a resilient career, your education should withstand any test. So we've made sure the degree you need is within reach by freezing one of the lowest tuition rates in the nation for 8 years and counting, and giving scholarships, discounts, and credit for work you've already done. Because we're proud of what you do. We've done this for over 30 years, and we know how to help. We're here to help you.
Welcome back to the show. The stress and demand of being a collegiate student athlete can be overwhelming at times. What we've learned here at Flame Central is that many coaches and athletes find an escape, a place, a hobby, a talent away from their given sport to just relax and get out of the office. For Liberty long distance runner Caleb Olson, that space is the workshop.
My name's Caleb Olson. I run for the Liberty University track team. I run the 10K, 5K, and then in the fall I run cross country. And in my spare time, I like to work on cars. Having something outside of school helps me perform well in school. Having something outside of athletics helps me perform well in athletics. I started working on cars with my dad, like little stuff, like changing the belts, spark plugs, air filters, really simple oil changes, really simple things like that. But leading up to working on cars, I've always been really, really handy. I love working with my hands. Before cars, it was remote control planes. The mechanical side of it, like working on engines and stuff, that really came from almost a necessity because when I was growing up, we fixed a lot of stuff. My dad and I both really, really enjoy working on stuff. And when I go home for the summer, we work on my truck together. There's been plenty of lessons that you can apply from working on cars to track and vice versa. One of the huge ones is patience. Take your time with the training. Don't bite off more than you can do at the moment. With cars, you buy the good stuff once, so you don't have to buy the bad stuff 15 times. And the same thing goes for equipment when you run, right? Your shoes, you don't want to get cheap shoes. You'd want to get the shoes that fit your feet so you don't get injured. Life lessons like that. God is the great creator, right? He's created everything. And I think this is just another aspect of us being made in the image of God. I love creating, and I think this is just an aspect of that. As a Christian, I recognize that those gifts and those abilities that God has given me are mine to nurture and use for His glory. A lot of people don't understand this aspect of it, but when you take something broken and you fix it yourself, there's such a reward there, because then all of a sudden you have something that was broken that you fixed, that you understand in depth. But again, it comes down to the patience, because you have a vision in your head, right? You know up here what you want it to look like, and moving and taking that time while in a moment, yeah, it's terrible or sucks, is really rewarding when it's done.
Thanks to Caleb Smith for that piece. That's right in your wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Right? Rhett is the resident auto guy here at Flame Central. He takes care of everybody. You're also the Warm, Hot, and Fuego
That's
guy.
right.
Top player moment from the past week in Liberty Athletics. What do you got cooking this week?
Well, you know, a lot's gone down here as of late. Some 3 coaching legends are now retired,
That's
right?
right.
Like Belichick, we're not sure if he's retired, but then Saban, also Pete Carroll.
Yeah.
But I can confirm that Joe Yock's running it back. I know he's in the
coming
running
back.
for 3 of those jobs, and
Yeah,
there's
good.
a lot of smoke around there. Maybe he'd go to Alabama, but Joe Yock
We had to
staying
give
right
him a
here.
few more Yock Talk
Yes,
segments to keep
exactly.
him in-house.
Yeah.
Rhett, what do we got warm this
here.
week?
We're kind of sticking with football, and it's the Liberty coaching staff, I would say, give them warm, just because when you look back at this year, finishing in the top 25 of the AP poll, I think is big for this group. And then you're able to retain high-end talent. If you look all around G5, star players are moving up to P5, right? And the majority of the studs on Liberty's program, they have kept right here at home. They can build off of. I know everybody thinks of Salter. What's he going to be able to do with another year under Willie Korn, just learning the system even further? What kind of year is he going to have next year? You're bringing back all the studs. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch next season. So I give the Liberty football staff just high grades all across the board.
Absolutely, no complaints. You couldn't find one if you were looking with the job that they did. All right,
sure.
from warm, we go to hot.
All right, we go to women's basketball. It's Jordan Hodges, point guard. You know, coming into this season, I think she was expecting more of a shared role, but she's really taken it full on, being the go-to. She's played 40 minutes, like a couple times throughout this season. Like, she's played the whole game. They rely upon her heavily. And you go back to Western Kentucky, 14 points, 5 assists. I look at just the comparison from last year to this year. Obviously, the minutes are up, but now 7.5 points per game. Last year, 3.5 points per game. The assists, she's already surpassed her mark from last season. She's really grown into this role, and I think as just conference play continues on, she's going to continue to get better and better and better. And the one other thing, I don't know if a lot of people expected her to be a shooter when she first arrived here, but she can pop it from 3 and is dangerous from beyond the arc.
She's one of those players that it's noticeable when she's not on the floor, and I don't know that anybody expected that coming into the year.
That is a great way of saying
it. All right,
it.
finally in Fuego, Rhett, who is it this week?
Bella Smuda. All right, I got to give a lot of credit here. I kind of want to take my time with this. A lot of respect for Bella Smuda. I think a lot of athletes in her position would be like, you know what? I'm stuck behind this stud center. I'm getting out of here. All right, good on her for sticking and being loyal to the program that she committed to. And good on you, Jimmy Smuda. You raised your daughter right. She has come into this season, her last game, 26 points, 17 rebounds. Now, that wasn't a loss, and I know that stinks, but what a monster double-double. Just terrifying people. 3 blocks in that game. The growth that she has shown this season, man, I hope she comes back for one more, because she has been an absolute stud.
Yeah, she all-conference type season by her. And I think that is certainly very, very much in the cards for her this season if that continues.
For sure.
Great job as always. We appreciate it. More Flame Central coming up right after this. Don't go anywhere.
So you're looking for a university that's perfect for you, a school that has anything you could possibly need.
Anything?
You want a place that has the programs you want to study, and maybe a few more, just in case you change your mind.
I think I'm going to sign up for the fashion design program.
All right. A place with state-of-the-art facilities. I mean, look at this campus.
And who doesn't love big-time sports?
And great recreational activities.
Okay, now we're on a roll. Somewhere you can hike, slide, strike, shoot, climb, eat, and most importantly, eat. You want a place that takes you to space? Okay, maybe not, but we can teach you how to fly, or pastor a church, or run a business. And all that with a great view? Yeah, I think I know a place. Being a parent and helping your kids through school, it's not exactly easy. I mean, there's waking up at 5 a.m., the morning routine, helping with homework, sitting in traffic. You get it. What if there was a way you could get your kids a quality Christian education where they can work at any pace, any time, from anywhere? School that works for your schedule and frees your kids to keep doing what they love. Well, that's exactly what we do. LUOA, school that goes where you do.
All right, that's going to about do it for us this week. As always, for any stories you may have missed, go to libertyflamecentral.com.
No Flames Fantasy League updates in this segment. Maybe we can figure something out that I can beat you guys in basketball season. Don't forget, Flame Central podcast drops every Monday with Matt, Joe, and myself. We'll see you right back here next week.